What's happening, guys? Coming at you from downforsoundshop.com, and in this video we're going to be answering some more frequently asked questions. But first, my name is Johnathan Price, owner and operator of downforsoundshop.com and this YouTube channel, which is two of the fastest growing things in car audio. If you will, hit that subscribe button and enable notifications so you know every time we drop a video, and you'll get it sent to your inbox and you'll be able to check it out first. Alright, so let's get into this video. We are going to be answering questions like we do all the time. I actually don't know of any other YouTuber in the car audio space that's doing this kind of one-on-one interaction with their followers, fans, supporters. I appreciate y'all. So I'm trying to interact with you more and answer your questions. So I'm going to go through some of these questions and answer them for you. And I'm also going to put your name out there too. So Adam Norick had a question. When is your truck going to be done? Talking about the current rebuild. So it's going to, we're shooting for sometime in March is what we're hoping for, but there's so many things that this is hinging on. Our new amplifiers coming in, us getting more speakers in, so many things. But the guys, Ivan and his crew over there, are doing an amazing job. Be sure to follow their pages as well. We're going to drop a link in the description so you can see, you can go directly to their pages and give them a follow, show them some love, support them. I'd greatly appreciate it. They're doing an amazing job. Next question, Chef Leon. So they say, hi JP, I'm in the process of building a budget system, but I'm wanting to run the 6.0 LTO batteries that you have. So I'm at 6K RMS on base, not a finished product. According to your calculations, I'd only need 2 of the LTOs with my MechMan 400. This is correct. So I would do 2 of the LTO 6.0s in the back and whatever battery you have under the hood with a big 3 upgrade, and you should be golden. So that's my answer on that. Scott Bowie has a question. What is the difference between XMax vs XMech? So I reached out to a friend of mine. I pretty much knew what XMax was, but I did not know what XMech was. So I reached out to a good friend of mine, Drew Jones at Baseaholic Productions. He does a ton of box designs and very knowledgeable individual. So I reached out to him and asked him this, and he said XMech is the physical limit of the sub's ability to move back and forth. Most subs reach XMech and it's bottoming out, so you can hear your sub bottoming out, or the coil is slapping the back plate. Some bigger subs don't do that anymore. They just reach the limit of the suspension's ability to move anymore. So I responded to him with, so after maximum amount of XMax, it reaches XMech. He said, you can see that normally when the surrounds are heavily wrinkled, he's talking about the bigger subs not reaching, not slapping the back plate. They're just limited by the suspension. So he said some subs have a lot of room after XMax until they reach XMech. Example, a Zippy 515 XMax is 30 millimeters one way, or 1.18 inches. 2.36 if you want to go both directions, but it has an XMech of over 4 inches peak to peak. So that's going to be the difference between XMax and XMech. I learned something here too. Again, I don't know everything, so luckily when y'all ask me these questions that I don't know, I'm able to reach out to the people that do know, and I learned something as well. So next question is Justin Nelson. So I have a question. I've always ran both of my batteries in parallel, but if you have 1 alt and 2 batteries, why not run the power of each battery to the alternator instead of in parallel? You are essentially doing the same thing. You're still connecting them via a piece of wire, so you're still doing that, just a different way. You're, instead of going like from your alternator to this battery and then over to this battery, you're going from the alternator to this battery, alternator to this battery, so they're still connected through that piece of wire. Jamie Irizarry, I'm probably butchering that name, but inverted subs can be installed in a sealed enclosure, or does it have to be a ported enclosure? And if they are inverted, is it true the polarity has to be inverted too? I think you're talking about the polarity has to be reversed, but no. The only time you have to reverse a polarity is if you have one sub that's, like, say inverted and the other one isn't inverted, and so you'd want to change that up so they would both be traveling the same way. But to answer your question, yeah, you can invert subs in a sealed box if you want to, It's totally up to you. It won't hurt it if you've already calculated. The only thing it's going to do is make your sealed side it has a little bit more airspace in there, since you don't have the sub motor and basket in there taking up some airspace. So yeah, you can do that if you want to. It's not a problem. Bonus question we have from Mirror Cube. Which factor plays a more important role on low frequency extension, cabin tuning or F3 of the sub and enclosure? Me personally, I mean, they're all definitely going to play a factor in this, but me personally, I would think it would be the F3 of the sub and the enclosure. Enclosures are so important. You've probably had somebody say, oh, I have 2 8s in my car, and people thought it was 2 15s. They claim these things, or people comment these things, because most of the time they did a really good job on their enclosure and they're getting a ton of performance out of it. So this is, again, why you want to use somebody. If you don't know about enclosure designs or anything like that, you want to deal with a person that has been doing it for a long time, so you're basically paying them for their knowledge and experience, just like anything else when it comes to anything in life. Basically mechanics, like somebody building your house, whatever it is, you pay these people for their knowledge that they've gained over the years, and you skip all the trials and tribulations and you get the good result from their experience, and them paying the hard times over time to learn what they know. So that's my opinion. Is so important to have a proper design. We offer designs on downforsoundshop.com. You can click in the link, we'll put a link in the description below, so you can, if you want a design for a specific sub or your vehicle or whatever, we offer this service to you, so you'll have a person that is super knowledgeable in enclosure designs, has been doing it for 10-20 years, to design your box for you, so you know the sub that you have is going to get the best performance out of it by getting a box that's designed by somebody that's been doing it for a very long time. So be sure to check that out if you want. That's going to wrap up this session of frequently asked questions on my YouTube channel. And if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask them in the comments below. And if I see one that looks good, or there's a bunch of likes or thumbs ups on the question, I'll be sure to answer that one. Appreciate you joining me. We'll see you in the next one. Later. What's happening, guys? If y'all enjoyed all the hot content that you saw in that video, be sure to follow me on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram under the Life of Price, and also Down for Sound Shop on Facebook and Instagram. And don't forget Snapchat. I'm JPD4S on there, so be sure to check me out there. We'll see you in the next one. Later.